guys, Neon Trey here, and did that record completely? Pt.2. I don't know. Anyways, I guess I'll re-say it. Hey guys, Neon Trey here, and welcome back to Choices That Matter, and their souls were eaten. So this is going straight off of the last episode thing. This is like a half hour after I recorded that, because the thumbnails and uploading and stuff. But I'm gonna side with Mary, because Mary is my age, and I don't know what my age is, and I don't want to be with, the great one woman. I chose the wrong option. Can I go back? Can I? Frick. No, I'm freaking choosing Mary. Last arc. Continue. No! I'm freaking going to. Freaking reset save game. And then I'm gonna freaking speed through everything else, okay? We'll speed through what I've already been through. I'm 13 years or older, so if you're not, don't watch. And their souls were eaten. I love my sister, I didn't know. Well, just let me speed through all this. Come on. Yeah, no, I gotta freaking remember what I chose, which was only half an hour ago. Great one! Come on. Freaking come on. Come on. We're so close. Eat Adam's soul. Freaking come on. Scream in agony. I gotta not do this, like, every episode I do of this. This better not be, like, become a habit or something, because it's just frickin' heck. Yeah, she was my age, a woman my age. So, I'm curious where this could lead us. I won't trespass on your grieving anymore, Miss Valley. I gathered my few possessions ready to leave with the informal Mary. Mare Valley was visibly furious. She took out a loaf of bread and began sawing it into chunks on a bench without releasing me from her glare. Mary casually walked in front of her and offered to slice the bread. Mare Valley put the bread away at once, but kept hold of the knife. Mary said her goodbyes and led me away. Okay. Did I choose the right thing? Can I sit down? There we go. Everything feels so much bigger in the closet when you sit down in there. I was desperately relieved to escape Mare Valley's fury. I hope you won't mind, Mary whispered as we walked to her home, catching glimpses of the coal refinery chimneys between the other houses. Most people find Aunt Faye a little overwhelming. Blah, 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 blah. I don't speak English. I'm grateful, Miss Valiant, I told her, feeling lighter already. I told you to call me Mary, she said, and then smiled. After all, we're practically family now. Oh, yeah. What am I, 1/3 her family now? Since, I have, 3 souls. One, my sister, me, and Adam. Frickin' heck. So I'm 33% related. Technically, I guess. I don't know how this works. Mary showed me upstairs to a room that was clearly her own, saying she would take the floor at her father's room. I don't need a bed, I said, embarrassed. Usually I just sleep on the ground. You can sleep on the floor here if you wish, she replied. It's part of the room after all. Oh, and you can adjust the floor vent just here. I looked where she pointed and saw a mist rising from the floor. My kitchen engine's underneath, she said. I have a jury-rigged power loom attached to the stove. Then I drilled through the floor because, why not? I like Mary. Mary's cool. For the first time, I noticed the grease under her fingernails. I'm sorry about your cousin. She smiled that smile again, holding herself together as a gift to me. What about you? Do you have a family? A home? Ooh. Um. Sister. Evelyn and I were hunting rabbits near our village. To my surprise, the words spilled easily from my mouth. I hadn't spoken Evelyn's name aloud in years, but I still remembered how offended I'd felt that she was a better shot than I was. Just thinking of her brought back the sharp smell of pine needles and rabbit scat, and my pride that her mother let us slip through the trees on our own, like wild enemies. Enemies? Oh, dear frick. No wonder I took her so. Like wild animals, already mature and fending for themselves. We were arguing, as usual. I wanted to go home because it was getting dark, but she was too proud to return empty-handed. She slapped me. I knocked her down. She wailed like a banshee, and I told her to shut her saucebox. Jeez. Mary listened intently, her eyes steady on mine and her lips slightly parted. Going for the kiss. We were distracted, I said, biting down on the urge to say it was all my fault. There was a bear. The freaking icon when you choose which story to do. And our souls were eaten. And their souls were eaten. This storyline is a bear, so that might have something to do. A bear. Mary's eyes flicked away, just for an instant, to the forest outside, the same forest that had claimed her cousin's life. It wasn't a bear, I admitted. It was the bear. My family had been haunted by that beast for generations. An albino that doesn't behave like a natural bear, and has lived for longer than any normal creature should. There was a moment of silence. She seemed to believe me, so I went on. Evelyn suddenly stopped crying, and I knew what was there without looking around. I cleared my throat. The bear, killed my sister so quickly, so easily. He was so very still, yelling at me one minute and then dead. She was just a child. You were just a child yourself, Mary whispered. We've been stalked by that bear so long, my mother calls it Knox, the night. Funny, she didn't even try to eat Evan. She sniffed her and then looked up at me like it was disappointed by my reaction. My heart was pounding. I remembered those 2 intelligent red eyes. And then it went away. I don't know why. Mary's eyes were fixed on mine. I shrugged. I knew the words that soul eaters say, so I said them. Someone had to, and I was just mixed up, so I ate evil and souls. I sighed. A few moments later, I realized what I'd done. As soon as the official Great One tried to eat her soul himself, he'd know that I was the soul eater. I ran home and told Mother everything. She said I had to leave right away, or the Great One would take me to soul school. The Great One! Mary finally looked away. I'd been a trader, a hunter, a beggar, and a bard, I said, but I'd never eaten another soul, until now. I'm glad, she said with sudden spirit. I'm glad Adam has company wherever he is. Even if the souls are just sleeping until they go to the other land, like the king says. I'm still glad. I hadn't thought about soul eating that way. I imagined Evelyn with another soul dwelling alongside her, and it comforted me. Thank you, said Mary, for telling me about her. She touched my arm lightly. I'm not sure I'll attend the funeral tomorrow. What will you do? I'll go wherever you go, baby. Yeah, I feel like that might be the right thing to do. Is to go with her. What is on this door? Never mind. I'll go wherever she goes. Good, she said. I wouldn't have had the courage to skip the funeral on my own. I spent a quiet day inside, thrilling at the treat of a roof over my head. The following day, I woke with the sun, as always. The vent in the floor was already steaming. I dressed and went downstairs, knowing Mary was already at work at the kitchen engine. She was stoking the stove. I stopped in the doorway so I wouldn't disturb her. Her face was lit up by the fire's glow, and the tears on her cheeks shone like jewels. She put a teapot on to boil, then checked the connections on her machine, tightening here, oiling there, before attaching the chains that set the power loom to continue weaving a broad streak of pale blue cloth. You clods! Sighing in satisfaction, she sat on a wooden stool and tended to the loom as it brought the threads together into a whole. Can you make the tea? She asked, without turning around. Father and I both take honey, but no milk. Of course, baby. I'll take anything you want me to take, as long as you take everything I want you to take. That's not what that says. Baby. I don't know, I just like doing the voice. Of course, I said, and fetched a towel to transfer the boiling teapot from the stove onto a block. A redstone block. Just a normal block this time, though. Set aside for it. I poured 3 cups of tea and added honey. Mr. Valiant came downstairs dressed up for the funeral as I was stirring the cups. Watch out, baby, he told me. She'll have you cooking if you let her. I didn't know what to say, so I ducked my head and hoped for the best. Good sir! He laughed loudly and took his tea. We'll be going into the forest today. Oh, that's not Mary. We'll be going into the forest today, Mary said, and joining you in town later. He grunted assent, apparently used to his daughter making her own way. For breakfast, Mary boiled oats, laced with more honey, and we ate in a companionable silence, marked by the ticking of the emptied loom as it slowed down. I don't know why I do that. If it gets annoying, tell me. If I can have a poll in the top right corner. Right up there. Top right. For lunch, she packed bread and boiled eggs for us, and we walked out the back of the house and away into the trees. The quiet and darkness folded around us into a green-tinged twilight that gave the lie to the early hour. Mary led the way, pausing here and there to pick a handful of green herbs, or bright yellow elfwort that she put in her bag. We walked a long way without her slackening her pace. I admired the certainty of her steps and the steadiness of her breath. I also did my best to keep from panting too loudly as we walked uphill. Finally she slowed and started singing softly. She reached back and held my hand as if we were children, leading me along a narrow path above a river gorge. We climbed higher and soon came upon a chattering waterfall our own height, with pools above and below. Mary sat on a rock next to the top pool and pushed back the loose strands of her hair. I sat beside her, hoping I didn't stink of sweat after the hike. "This is the same river as the one in Hallowvale," she said. "Adam taught me to fish here." She laid her head on my shoulder, and I tried not to move as she wept, wetting my neck with her tears. At last she stood and walked around, gathering wildflowers, casting them into the water one by one, and watching them tumble down the waterfall and sink, bruised and torn, on the other side. I watched the water and wished I knew what to say to comfort her. Then I saw the bear. Knock stood in the trees on the other side of the falls, starkly white against the rocks of the gorge, watching me with those eyes. This is where I end this. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end it here. If you guys liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't, don't. If you want to subscribe, do that. I'm not gonna force you. And see you in the next episode. Trey, going offline. This was longer than I wanted it to be.